Hey YouTube, so today I'm going to show you my entire reptile collection. I know I just did one of these videos probably about 3 or 4 months ago, but I've gotten about, I think it's 16 or 17 new animals. And so I just want to show you them, and I also want to show you the existing ones that you guys haven't gotten to see for quite a while because I've been super busy. I've been busy taking care of these guys, which is now a lot. I now have 17 snakes, 6 lizards, 6 frogs, a scorpion, and 3 tadpoles. And hopefully I am going to be able to keep it at that number for now, just because it's great for right now because it's summer and I have plenty of time, but come school year, you know, you can't be taking care of 50 animals. So I think 30 is a good number for me, or 33 is a good number for me, just because it allows me time to spend time with the animals, but it also allows me time to do homework, hang out with friends, and so it's like the perfect number for me. And obviously, the perfect number is different for everybody. The perfect number for someone my age might be 2, who knows, but just for me, I have enough time to fit about 30 into my life, and I love every single one of them that I have. And the tadpoles are temporary, so it's about 30 because the tadpoles will be released pretty soon. So I've been gone because I have to take care of these guys, and I've also created myself a reptile room. This is no longer my bedroom. This is complete reptile room. This is all the animals that I have besides my dogs, which are my family's. And another reason I've been gone is because I am volunteering at many different places with other different animals like birds of prey. And they also have snakes and lizards and turtles, but mostly I've been volunteering with birds of prey, and I've been pretty busy with that. I think I have that like 4 or 5 times a week. One last reason I have been pretty busy is because I am a big procrastinator, and I keep thinking that I want to make this video when the reptile room is perfect, but quite frankly, the reptile room will never be perfect. I will always want to change it in certain ways, so I'm just going to show you guys my current collection right now. And yeah, so on with the video. These are every single one of my animals, all 33 of them, and let's go. So this is just the basic look at the layout of the reptile room now. It's a lot different from when you guys have last seen it. There is a new metal rack holding some animals. There's a new rack over there. There's a new rack right there. There's a new tank. There's a new tank right there. And there's also, these tanks are old. These tanks I've had for a few years, but they've kind of built around. And the bed will be leaving as soon as we can find a place for it. But for right now, it's kind of like my comfy spot to just lay down when I have to be monitoring temperatures or watching them soak or something like that. So it works out pretty good. So now I'm going to start out and just show you each and every animal. And certain animals that aren't out when they're like in their enclosures, or if they're like in hides, I'll take out. But for the most part, ones that are out, I'm just going to leave in their cages, just because tomorrow's feeding day, and I don't want to bother them. So the first one up is Frownie Face. Sorry about that, that was a dirty dish. So this Frownie Face, he's gotten much bigger. He's about 6 feet long, and he will be getting ready for an upgrade pretty soon. But for right now, it's a pretty comfortably sized home. He's got his water dish, he's got a nice place to climb in the neutral area and in the hot area, and he's also got a nice new big hide in which he hides in the morning and then comes out to bask. And the only reason he's being really, really active right now is, 1, I just sprayed him, and 2, tomorrow's feeding day, like I said, so he's hungry, and like we all know, Frownie is always hungry. And there's just a quick look at Frownie. Hi, baby. And he's probably gonna top out around 7 feet, no more than that. He's not gonna get too big. So yeah, that's Frownie, and now I'm gonna show you Monty, my Irian Jaya carpet python. And as you guys can tell, he is a new animal. I'm gonna show you more about him now. So this is Monty, and I took him out just because he likes to hide a lot, and I just don't think I would have gotten a great video of him. So Monty, like I said, is an Irian Jaya carpet python. So they're from actually Papua New Guinea, not Australia like the jungle carpet python is. And their colors are much more muted than the jungle carpet, but still beautiful in their own way, in my opinion. What do I have to say about Monty? Came from my friend along with three other animals that I'm going to show you today. And so when I say they came from my friend, they're all from the same person. He was downsizing his collection, and so he decided that on 4 animals that he wanted to find good homes for, and so I actually ended up just taking all 4. And it was one of the primary reasons that I made a reptile room, to be able to accommodate the new animals' needs. And so the Irian Jaya carpet python is living up there for now, but I'm going to be getting him a 3-foot by 2-foot by I think 2-foot tank, and so I can give Priscilla the bigger tank when she gets bigger. But there's Monty. He's an Irian Jaya carpet python, het for granite, so that's a pretty cool color mutation that I might be able to breed carpet pythons one day. That'll be a pretty good asset to my breeding stock. But for right now, he's just a pet, and he's doing great. And if you just heard him breathe, that was not a sneeze. Carpet pythons like to breathe very loudly. Every single one of mine do. And every single one I've met does. So it's not just mine. And yeah, so that's Monty. And now let me show you some other animals. So now if you move over, this is my bug breeding. I'm not going to show you what's in each drawer. It's basically mealworm and superworm breeding. I might be doing future videos on how to do that later, but for today I'm not going to. So in here we have this is actually a new baby rack I just bought at the Reptile Expo, and I'm going to use it to house the offspring I produced. It has the capacity to hold 10 drawers, so all the extra drawers are right there. But for right now, I just assume give the animals that I have all the heat that they can get. Just because I'm trying to get the temperature stabilized because it's heated by FlexBot. And I know her cage looks very dirty. They get cleaned on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and today's Friday, so there's some poop, and usually her cage is much cleaner. But this is Iris. She's my Leopard Gecko. She's grown up very well. She's gotten nice and fat. She's getting ready for breeding next year with Poseidon, my male, which I will show you in a little bit. And she's just living in here by herself for now. And as she grows, she'll probably move in with Midnight and Poseidon. But for right now, since she's not quite ready for breeding, I'm just going to keep her in here. Below her, we have Mr. Angry Snake. His name is Tyson. He's a western hognose. He's probably one of the angriest snakes I have. Which is quite funny because I've heard hognoses are pretty tame, which in my experience they're not, but obviously I know that the majority of them are. Just him, not so much. So I just saw his head. He's right under here, and he's probably going to hiss at me and probably going to bite me, but that's okay because he's really tiny. So here's Tyson. I know he looks a little wet. He likes to spill his water. He's right here. And he's growing up pretty well. He's eating pinkies that are scented with tuna. And yeah, that's basically all to say about him. He's growing up very fast. And he is not getting any calmer despite me handling him. So yeah, so that's Tyson. And I'll put his drawer back in a second after this video's over. I'm just going to put it off to the side there. Next I'm going to show you Charcoal. You guys have already met Charcoal in last video, but I'll show her again. Just her nice new little setup. So this is Charcoal. For those of you who do not know, she's an Irian motley corn snake. So she's a very gorgeous little baby, and I can't wait to use her for breeding in a couple years when she's ready. And she is stunning. I'm so happy. She was kind of an impulse buy for me just because I wasn't going to the reptile show looking for corn snakes. But since I had 2 corn snakes and I've worked with corn snakes before, I didn't see a problem with it. And so as long as you give her the proper habitat. And so she's getting ready for an upgrade already. She's growing pretty fast. She's had I think 4 pinky mice in total. And she has gotten huge since I've gotten her. She has not shed, but when I first got her, I think she was around 12 inches. Now she's around 14, so she's grown quite a bit. So we're going to put that back in this thing. And then here is Scorpio, my emperor scorpion. This is a temporary home for him, and it looks kind of dry because I haven't sprayed him yet today. But here he is. He just molted, actually. He's right there. He's gotten quite a bit bigger, if you can see. And he's pretty calm compared to little baby emperor scorpions. They tend to be a little bit more defensive, but mine is pretty calm. I don't know why. I don't handle him very much. I think I've held him a total of 3 times, and all the times are kind of nerve-wracking just because I am a little bit afraid, just a teeny little bit afraid of scorpions. Not that much, but just a tiny little bit, but I really like them, so I'm really excited that I get to work with one quite often. So that's the baby rack, and I'll put Tyson away. I'm just going to have to actually spot clean him, so that's why I'm leaving him out. So here are the bearded dragons. You guys have met them many times. This is Trixie. She is my bearded dragon that has backwards legs. I'm actually going to open the door, but it's going to be a really bad noise. So this is Trixie. She's the bearded dragon with the backwards legs. It was a genetic defect from when she was first born. And here's Bella. Bella is another female bearded dragon who was abused when she was little and had to have her foot amputated. And another foot, it's the foot right up here, doesn't work. She just kind of drags it around. And like I said, their cage is very dirty, just because I sift on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. That's just like their system, and it works pretty well. And just their cages are a little bit messy on Friday just because they haven't got sifted in a while. And so here's Rosa, my male bearded dragon. I kind of rescued him from a raffle, and he's doing great. He's got some great colors. He's grown up great. I've gotten a lot of comments lately saying I need to get my bearded dragons bigger cages. Even though these cages are 60 gallons, and so if you've read online, it says you need to give a bearded dragon at least 40-gallon breeder, and that means bearded dragons are semi-arboreal, so they like to climb. So if you notice in each and every one of the bearded dragon's cages, they have a place to get up, so he's about 12 inches from the light. So he gets to use the horizontal space as well as the vertical space, so it's not like he has just 2 foot by 2 foot room. He also has 2 by 2 by 2, so he actually has plenty of room to exercise. I've talked to my vets about this, and they're perfectly fine with it. And if you don't agree with me, I mean, my beardies are pretty healthy, from what I can tell. They're all rescued, and so they're all getting better lives than what they would have if I didn't take them. So that's just my little tidbit of, okay, these tanks aren't that small for them. It just looks small. This tank is 4 feet wide, and it's 2 feet tall, and it's housing 2 dwarf-sized or 2 stunted growth bearded dragons, and then 1 medium bearded dragon. And so, and of course there's a divider. And so, I mean, and they're using the vertical space, so I don't think it's too small of an enclosure just because they're all doing fine. They come out 3 or 4 times a week to play and to just run around for exercise, and they're all just great eaters. So yeah, those are the bearded dragons. Next we have Serendipity and Priscilla. Both have gotten very big since I have gotten them. So I'm actually going to just open their cage and show you them, since they're both out. So Priscilla has gotten so much bigger that she's actually getting ready for a new enclosure. She's going to be getting a whole one of these enclosures, so a whole 4 by 2 by 18. And here she is. This is her compared to my hand. She's gotten so much bigger, and I'm really, really happy. She has an amazing personality. In fact, I just had her out on my computer when I decided to make a YouTube video, so you can thank her for that. And then here's Serendipity. She's a jungle carpet python. She's related to Frownie Face, and they're 2 years apart, so her growth is probably forever stunted because she wasn't fed enough at her old home. So here she is. There's her little head, and she's very, very cute. And she just likes to rest up on this log. She'll be getting a bigger tank probably next year. She doesn't need it quite yet just because she has enough room to stretch out and whatnot. I just feel like the snakes need to be able to climb, but also use the horizontal space too. And so they'll all be getting bigger cages. Like I said, the reptile room isn't quite done. I still have to move a couple animals around when it comes to housing. But other than that, they all seem pretty happy. So the next grouping is this rack. So up there we have my dubia roach colony that is kind of breeding. I'm being honest, I'm not keeping it at the right temperature because I don't have a heat pad right now, so I'm not really surprised they're not breeding. And then there's my incubator that's turned off for the year because my geckos never bred, because I'll explain that later. And, okay, so here's Sticky and Jumpy. They're the new white stray frogs I just got at the Reptile Expo. Let me see if I can open this up. No, I can't. Okay, this is going to be hard. So, there is Sticky. And then there's Jumpy, right up there. And I've got them both at the Reptile Expo about, I think, 3 weeks ago or something, and they're doing fine. They're picky. They're not picky. They're pigs. They like to eat a lot, and I'll walk that in a sec. And here's Flibbit. He's a white tree frog, but he's actually pretty old, and he's the same age as Cups. And so I'm just kind of giving him the most comfortable life possible, and then he will, you know, live out his days. He's doing pretty good. He's eating mealworms, crickets, superworms, whatever he can fit into his mouth. Being fed by tongs because he can't hunt anymore. And now, if you've noticed, I don't keep my frogs on reptile carpet anymore. I keep it on EcoBirth just because it's easier to clean. I know I've gotten a lot of comments about that, and some of you didn't like that. But don't worry, you know, we all change our minds, and I've decided I like EcoBirth a lot better just because it holds moisture better. And here we have my red-eyed tree frogs, Igor and Spot. So Igor is on a leaf, and as you can see, if you're just watching this video now and haven't seen any of my other videos, he has a spinal defect, so he looks like he has a bump on his back. It is his spine. It just happened like that. And then there's Spot in the back. She's a female. She's quite large. She's about yay big, and the male Igor is calling every night to see if he can mate with her. It's quite funny. But I don't plan on breeding them for the next few years. And then, of course, Hoppy is, like, in a place where I can't really open the door. But he's right there. Hoppy is a gray tree frog. He was going to be released into the wild, but because I was reading up that the chemicals in a pond, or in a fountain, that can contain bleach can also cause injuries to them, like it causes like defects. And so when he was first hatched out, I noticed that his legs were a little bit weird. And if you notice that his like legs are kind of cockeyed, so he can't really hunt very well, so he gets tongue fed. And I'm just gonna keep him in my own little zoo for now and just let him, you know, grow up a little bit better and then possibly release him a little bit later. Here's my Kenyan Sand Boa, Nessie. She is fine. She's doing great. She's got this new Exoterra because she actually got out of her old tank, which was not a fun morning for me. But we found her, obviously, and she's in blue right now. And so there she is. She's very cute, but she's in blue, so I'm going to leave her alone because she will bite me. And yeah, that's Nessie. She's doing good, and I got her from a college kid that didn't want her anymore. Here's Verde. She's my green tree python, And yes, she has moved out of her old tub and moved into this. It is a 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot cage. It will be her cage for the rest of her life. And I gave her lots of cover so she feels nice and secure in such a big tank. And she's right there. She turned completely green. And she's got a nice blue stripe. So she's doing awesome. I'm so happy with her. Her personality is amazing. And I just love her so much. So I'm really happy with the service at Signal Herp because they have just awesome animals that just cannot be beat. I know Rico is battling cancer right now, so, you know, I'm just really thankful, and I'm, you know, praying that he makes it through this horrible sickness. So the next ones would be the crickets. I'm not going to show you. And then there's tadpoles, which aren't very exciting. They're just kind of in there. I'm keeping them until they hatch into frogs or until fall hits, and then I'm going to put them back in the wild. And now here's my rack. This video is getting really long, but just bear with me. So there's the gecko that I'm going to be giving my little neighbor tomorrow. I'm not going to show you him again. He's not really mine. She named him Sparky. Here's Kodak, my corn snake. She's an amelanistic corn snake. I got her from a college kid that didn't want her anymore. And she's doing great. She's about 4.5 feet long. And these drawers are about 42 quarts big. So they're plenty big for every single one I have in here. Here's Paisley. She's a ball python. For those of you who do not know, I rescued her from... Oops, she pooped. I gotta pick that up. I rescued her from a very bad situation where she had a lot of retained shed and everything, and so she's doing great. It's actually a boy, I'm pretty sure. I might use him for breeding next year, and so I'm actually gonna make sure to remember to spot clean his enclosure. Here's Pandora, and she also pooped, of course. Here's Pandora, my Mojave female ball python. She's doing great. Although she has not eaten for me once. I've heard that Outback Reptiles only feeds live, and so I purchased a live mouse, and then I got attached to it. So I'm going to either give it back to the pet store or prong it and then give it to her. I don't want to give it to her live, but this is a little mouse. For those of you who do not know, I named her Jasmine, but Jasmine will be no longer pretty soon. But yeah, so... that's Pandora, so I'm hoping she gets to eat soon so I can get her up to breeding size. To breed with Scyther down here. Oops, Scyther's shed. I've been waiting for this for quite a bit. So Scyther is my Spider Mojave male ball python. He's gotten huge. As you can see, he's growing because he shed, and the shed's all in one piece, so the humidity's good. And he's just looking better each day. He's a little bitchy, though. So I'm just gonna be careful when I close his enclosure because he's actually out of his hide. And then another new animal that I got from my friend is a large female ball python. This is her size compared to my hand. She has one eye, and so she had retained shed when she was little from a previous owner before my friend, and so my friend rescued her and brought her back to health, but as you can see, she only has one eye. That's the eye that doesn't work. That's the eye that works. And she's doing good. I'm going to get her a bigger drawer or cage soon, but she's doing fine in here. Sorry, I'm yawning. She'll be fine in here for now. She doesn't really move. She's more of like a sedentary animal that doesn't like to become out. Here are Midnight and Poseidon, my other two leopard geckos. And of course they're super dirty, so I'm just not even gonna try to explain that one. So here's Midnight. She's gotten nice and big. She's my normal leopard gecko, and she will be used for breeding next year. She didn't breed this year just because she didn't produce me any eggs. So here's Poseidon, my Tremper albino max snow male. He's doing fine. He's going to be used for all the projects. And this is their cage. They're in a 42 quart tub. And they've got dirt everywhere. That's what I was saying when it's like really messy. No one lives in here because they've already moved out. Beatrix, I think, shed. Hi, Beatrix. Yep, so we have another snake that shed. This is Beatrix, my California Kingsnake. As you can see, she's gotten much bigger. I'm going to put that with Scyther shed. And she's doing fine. She's eating every week. She's pooping every week, and she's just doing fine. She just lives in this drawer, and she's a pretty happy snake. She comes out once or twice a week to be socialized, just to keep her nice and calm. And the reason I'm using my knee to close this is because there's foam underneath, so she can't get out. Okay. And then, lastly in this rack is Sienna, the little corn snake that isn't so little anymore. She's an Okatee corn snake, and she's getting much bigger. And it might be a boy, it might be a girl, I don't know. And maybe he'll be used for breeding in a couple years. But Scyther and Pandora will be breeding next year to make blue-eyed Lucy's, hopefully. And then, over here, 2 more new animals. Sorry, I'm trying to make this quick. This is Felix, the jungle carpet python. He is related to Frownie and Serendipity, which is quite interesting, just because he is in the middle of them. But he was from my friend. He adopted it from the same place I adopted it, and then he had to get rid of it. So I now have 3 jungle carpet pythons. They're related to one another, which is exciting to say the least. Okay, now I'm going to show you Newton. And Newton is a Brazilian Rainbow Boa, also from my friend. And he is in a setup that my friend used and raised this Rainbow Boa up from scratch, basically. And so it works, and so I don't know, like, if you guys are very, like, judgmental about Rainbow Boa care, but I've read that, like, paper towels can be not such a good bedding, but it's doing great for him. So, here is the Rainbow Boa. His name is Newton. He's very pretty. He's very large as well. He's a little bit iffy when it comes to handling, so I'm just going to kind of leave him in here. But Rainbow Boas are called Rainbow Boas because they have the iridescent shine, because the little ridges in their scales refract light in such a way. So it's pretty cool, which is pretty interesting. So I'm going to put this back. So yeah, that's basically the entire animal collection for now and hopefully for the rest of the year. I do not plan on getting any new animals, just because I don't have a lot of space anymore, which is completely understandable. So yeah, that's the animal collection. Thank you for watching. I know this video is probably going to be about 25 minutes long, but I have 30 animals to show you, up close and personal. And keep watching. I will be making care videos, because a lot of you want care videos. I think I have a request for carpet python care. I did bearded dragon. Carpet python care, scorpion care, white tree frog care, green tree python care, this guy, hognose care, California king care, and ball python care. So there's a lot of care videos coming up. I might just make a general snake care video because they're basically all the same, but as with humidity, it's different. But yeah, YouTube, just stay tuned. I will be making more videos next week, after they're done digesting their meals from tomorrow. And thank you for watching, and comment, rate, subscribe, and if you request a video, just make sure that you will be conscious that you might be waiting for about a month or 2 before it comes, because I have about 8 care videos to make, which, if you haven't noticed, I'm pretty thorough with my care videos. So, yeah, YouTube, thank you, and see you guys later.